Good morning. Good morning, Tamika Davis. How are you doing, Tamika? Good morning, Odom. Tamika, you're the first one I see in here this morning on my end. So, for being first, you have won a $5 Cash App. All I need is for each app information. Thank you so much for being here. Congratulations, Tamika Davis. You have won a $5 Cash App. You're the first person that I see in this morning. Welcome in, Odom. So happy to see you. Just send me your Cash App information. I'm only using Cash App right now. If you have Cash App, send it to my email. It's on my About page. It's $, Miss Patty 10. That's MSPATTI and the number 10 at gmail.com. Okay, thank you, Tamika. Let me see. Let me see it. Hope I don't forget it because I don't have anything to write it down on. And and sometimes the live chat does not come up right away. So if I don't see it, I'll have to wait until I can see the live chat because I may not remember it. I'm out here walking. I don't have anything to write with. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being an awesome Tamika. I appreciate you so much. Hi, J3 GS Farm. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. My Renaissance grandma. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Design with Emma. Thank you both for being here. I'm out here doing my walk this morning, y'all. It's breezy. It's 57 degrees and it's a little chilly. It's a gloomy day, as you can see. We're expecting rain, so I'm happy to get out here and try to beat the rain. I need these steps. As you can see straight ahead, there is a pasture over there. I don't see the cows out there. They might be on the back side. Oh, I do see them. Maybe I can let you see them too. They're way on the other side, but you can see them. Let's see if I can get close enough to this fence. Let's see, and maybe zoom up. I don't know how much you can see. They're way in the distance over there. Maybe you can see the little specks over there. But yes, this is at the end of one of the streets. There's a big 700 or 800 acre property out there, and the cows be out there. Sometimes they be on the front side, sometimes on the back. Okay. It is gloomy out here, y'all. The wind is blowing. It feels kind of nice because seems like a fresh breeze. Oh, you need rain in your area, Joshua? I don't mind the rain. I just don't like the storms. Hi, Frank G. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. I need to put this hood on my head because I don't need this wind in my ears. Thanks for dropping links. Their yard is so well manicured right there. It's looking good. We have to keep these lawns up out here because if we don't, you will get cited by HOA. It's a pretty yard right there. The trees and the rose, I think it's rose bushes. Looks like rose. No, I don't think they're rose bushes, but these may be rose bushes right there. So nice and pretty. See, looks like the sun is trying to peek through, but not really that much. They have been cutting the lawns, and a lot of the lawns look really good. And these steps in, y'all. Getting them in, getting them in. Thanks, Frank. Developing Mind, welcome in. Thank you for being here. How are you doing? Your area trees are starting to grow already. Flowers are mostly green. Okay, Joshua, I bet the trees are pretty. I love beautiful trees and plants and flowers. Love it. Love nature. Y'all, I'm struggling with this wind this morning. I have to try to snap this thing up because this hood wants to come off. See if I can snap it. Should have done that before I left out the house, just to keep this hood on my head. I see the geese flying here making sounds. Oh, y'all, I'm trying to snap this. Okay, got it. Got to keep this wind out of my ears. Are you getting breakfast ready, Developing Mind? I'm doing well, thank you. Hi, B&C Gaming. Gardening, I'm sorry. B&C Gardening Experiments Homestead. How are you doing? Happy to see you. Thanks everybody for being out here with me, walking. How's everybody day going? Happy Thursday. Happy blessed Thursday to all of you. Thank you for being here. Oh, looks like the duck is out there and I don't have any feed. I am gonna cross over and let you see the waters before I walk on down. Yes, I see the duck out here, but I don't have any feed with me. I see him wagging his tail. I would have to come back and give him some feed because I don't have any with me. I'm gonna let you take a look at the pond, see what's stirring up over here. It's a little stirring this morning. The water is stirring this morning. You can see the waves are rolling. Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear. Healing prayers to you. Total healing. I am so sorry to hear that you had to have surgery. But thanks and praises be unto God. You are moving and healing. and things have sprung forth. Okay. Ooh. Y'all see that water? It is stirring this morning, if you can see it. The wind is blowing and the water is stirring. It's meaning when the water is stirring. It's healing in the water. It's deliverance in the water. Yes, it is stirring this morning. Good morning, Buff. It's been a process, yeah. Well, you take it easy, take care of yourself, and I know God will see you through. And I say God because I see you have a praying hand in your comment. Look at this. You can see the waterfall is going wild this morning because of the wind out here. It's very windy out here. Yes. Thanks for speaking to everybody. What are you cooking good? Developing mind. You might not be able to answer if you're cooking. May not be able to type. I know it's something good. One little lonely duck out here. Good morning, Nets V Blog. Let me see. Let me get it right. Nets V Blog 21. Good morning and welcome in. Thanks for being here. Y'all see him? He's wagging his tail. He probably thinks that I have something for him. But I didn't bring anything. He's looking. He's turning around. He's looking. Grits, turkey, sausage, eggs, and toast. Hot chocolate. Oh, that sounds good, developing mind. That sounds good. I don't know. I bought some Impossible plant-based Italian sausage yesterday. I've never tried it before. He's walking away. You see, I don't have anything for him. So he's turning and walking away. I'll have to come back out here later. And he'll peck around and find something in the grass. I guess he's going on back to the water now. Y'all see him? I guess he said, lady, you don't have anything for me, so I'm just turning my back and walking away from you. You had oatmeal boiled egg this morning. Okay. Hello, Fruga Mama. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. Just showing you guys the pond and let you see the water is stirring this morning. It's windy out here. And one little lonely duck. I don't have feed, but I'll come back a little later, see if I can catch him. He's looking around at me. Ooh. You have to be careful walking in this grass because it's poop everywhere. And it's not duck poop. It's dog poop everywhere. Ugh. Walking on. Trying to get these steps in. If I do the Italian plant-based Italian sausage, I'm gonna let you guys see. I may do a video and let you see what it's looking like and tell you what it tastes like. Wind is still blowing this hoodie off. Goodness. I appreciate you all being here so much. I really do. Trying to keep it moving. Okay, okay, Tamika. I will check it as soon as I get off the live. And I thank you so much for all of your support. You're awesome. I appreciate you always being here. I appreciate everybody. Everybody. So we are going to walk this way this morning. Bud Files, welcome in. If I didn't speak to you already, welcome everybody. Greetings to all of you. Sometimes you have bacon, egg sandwich and don't. Okay, Joshua, you be cooking it up there. I see you in the kitchen cooking. I know you all hear that wind blowing. It is blowing. Hi, Nancy, Peran Ministries. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You like fast food? I thought you said you didn't buy food. You meant to say you didn't like fast food, I think, because I've heard you say before that you don't like fast foods, Joshua. Yes, it's supposed to rain, and it definitely looks like it too. That's why I'm trying to get these steps in and get back in the house. Ooh, it's whipping out here, y'all. It feels like a fall day instead of spring, y'all. This hoodie won't even stay on my head. Goodness gracious. You can hear, yeah, it's really brisk out here, Tamika. Very high. You can see see how gloomy it is out here. Okay, Joshua said, yeah, I knew what you meant, Joshua. You like plant-based recipes too? Okay. I have a lot of tossed salad left. Look at the little robin right here. Cute. It flew away. Um, and I may do a veggie taco, some veggie tacos because we have some shells, some soft shells. I may do just a veggie taco today to keep that from going to spoil. Put me some, probably put me some, a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of pink Himalayan salt, a sprinkle of garlic powder, a sprinkle of onion powder, and what else can I put on? And probably put a little bit of, I like this, what you call it, classic Catalina, I think it is. Anyway, it's a sauce that I like to put on my tacos. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I think it's classic Catalina, I believe, but I haven't bought it in a while. So I don't have any right now. Wish I had some. May go to the store and get some. But I do have some ranch that I can put. So I'll do that. And yes, I will do that. Mm. Ooh, all I got to get out of this wind. It is much, much, much. Breezy, breezy, breezy. What is everybody doing today? So I know some of you guys are at work, doing whatever you need to be doing at this moment. Mm-mm-mm-mm. See a little bit of nature here. Let's see here. Whew. Y'all see that sun up there? Yes. Whew. But you see my yard. Since he cut it the other day. I don't know if I've shown you. It's not like I want it, uh, but I'm sure it will get better. Just keep working with it. Let me see if I've missed any comments. You fish and plant-based. I have been for about 6. Oh, okay, and seen major improvements in health, and that is what I have been thinking about. The pescatarian diet, Nancy. That's what I have been thinking about. Yeah. Good morning, Anita. How are you doing? Thank you so much taking care of those babies, huh? I understand. Hey, Jim. Let me see. I'm trying to get something out of this house. Lila, life my way. Okay, all I need is that sausage out of the freezer. It's gonna be in a plastic bag. I told her to put it in last night. It's impossible. Italian sausage and it's two things in there. Italian sausage and Italian ground beef, plant-based. Yeah, that's what I am leaning toward. Along with my walking, it's not happening all at once, but because I'm still eating chicken right now, and I like to get my fish from this certain fish market here, and I'm going to. It's not close to me. It's probably I'll say 5 miles. That's not too bad. I know I'll probably go over there either today or tomorrow so I can especially do fish tomorrow, if not today. Hey, Jeremiah, how you doing? How you doing, big boy? Yeah, so I'm at my house right now, picking up something. I'm going back around the corner. Oh, okay, great. Because really, Nancy, I stopped eating pork a long time ago, and but beef, I was still eating beef. Yeah, that's what I want. I'll be back around here later.
All right.
Were y'all up?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all, I got some. I had bought some Impossible sausage. I had dropped it off at my house. Here it is. I'll show it to y'all when I get ready to cook it. The only thing about the plant-based is you have to be careful. Well, I have to be careful of salt, and so I don't use any other salts when I do the plant-based. And I found I've had it once. I made hamburger patties, and it was fine. It was really, really just fine. It wasn't too salty. I know we gotta have some salt in our diet, and it wasn't salty at all like I thought it would be. So I did well with that. Ooh, these cars are coming this morning, as you can see. Gotta watch them coming around the curve. Yeah, it's a process. You will find your comfortable spot. I yeah, I have too. That was gradual change for me because I'm telling you, the foods that I love, I'm not I love chops. I love them smothered. I love them fried. I love ham. I love all of that. I like to season beans and greens with ham hocks and stuff, but I started a while ago, a long while ago, seasoning with smoked turkey. And one thing about my husband, he didn't. Hi, Nikki. The everyday life of an OCD is shit. Welcome in. Happy to see you. He did not eat pork. He did. But really, to be honest about the chicken, I am sick of it. I am sick of chicken. Eat chicken, chicken, chicken all the time. I've just gotten tired of it. Oh yeah, oh my God, I forgot my mama was German. Was raised. Yes. Oh, oh, okay. That's okay. I don't know why they trash the neighborhood. Right, right. Well, it's not just the children because if you go down this island here, it's all kind of papers and stuff. You need some gloves on, or you need one of those. You don't need to be touching. Yeah, you don't need. Okay, okay. She's picking up. You too. She's picking up trash in the neighborhood. I wouldn't be picking it up. I will pick it up, but I put on gloves to do it. I don't pick it up with my bare hands. Or she need one of those things that you grab uh, stuff when she just riding through picking up the trash in the neighborhood. And it's a shame that people throw out their trash, their McDonald's bags, their Burger King bags, all of that. Thank you so much, Leela Life's My Way. Leela Life My Way. Thank you so much. Yes, that's right. Gloves. That's what I was telling her. She doesn't need to be picking up that stuff with her bare hands. Nasty trash and bottles and stuff. hmm Thanks for dropping links, Frank and Nikki, and anyone else that I may have missed. Yes. Yes, gloves. I use gloves. Yes, I would not touch anything. I pass the trash, which the island is right here. It's a very beautiful spot over there, as you can see. And because I didn't have gloves with me, I did not touch it. But you can see the island is beautiful. The trees, the Spanish moss trees and crepe myrtles, very beautiful. But I can't help it. I cannot pick up stuff with my bare hands. I wouldn't, stuff be trashed on the street. And I don't know where it came from. Sometimes I think the wind blows it. But I get gloves. I run in the house and get a glove and a bag and pick it up like that and tie it in the garbage can. A lot of times it's not the children. It's not the children throwing stuff down. It's the adults throwing stuff out of cars too, like bags from eateries and stuff like that, tossing fries out in the streets and stuff. Instead of just tightening up that bag until you get to a spot where there is a waste basket and drop it in, even if you don't want to take it home. Litter bags, litter bugs, yes, have to be safe, Nancy. Yes, yes, Nikki. Litter bugs, and it just doesn't make sense. And people don't train their children. Sometimes I can't even say that they have not taught their children because when these children get out here, like my mom always said, once they turn their backs to you and walk out that door, turn their behinds to you, you don't know what they do when they go out there in the streets, though you have taught them. But you don't know what they will do. They get with other peers And sometimes they see others doing things and they join in. Peer pressure. They want to be hip. You know, they want to fit in and all this kind of stuff. I was never that child trying to fit in. And I thank God I didn't try to fit in. I didn't care what anybody was doing. I was never easily influenced by peers. Shoot, I remember in high school, a lot of my class members were going out to bar rooms back during that time. They wasn't carding nobody. And they would be going, but I know my mama wouldn't have had it. My mom would have put her foot on my neck. I mean, and these were teenagers, 16, 17 years old. My mama wasn't having it. And I was too afraid. My mama had put the fear of God in me. I wasn't going to slip out the house at night. Yes, my mama put the fear of God in me. Nikki, I dare not. And furthermore, I wasn't going out in the dark anyway. Getting out of a window, going out in the dark. I don't mess around in dark places. Ooh, y'all, this wind is brisk. Yeah, it was after I was so-called grown. Yes. Oh, yes, I used to hit them bars once I was grown. Yes. My friends and I would catch happy hours on Friday evenings after work. And Saturday night, we had this little spot. Well, Saturday started Saturday during the day. It was called the Clubhouse. And it was a small joint, but it used to be popping in there. I'm telling you, it used to be popping. But we all stayed together. We didn't get in cars with strangers. Though they were trying, we never did that. We didn't give up our phone numbers and stuff. We kind of kept it safe. We didn't leave those mixed drinks on the table and come back to. And we would dance almost all night long. Love to dance, love laughing and talking with friends. We had a good old time. Sure did. But when I was in school, like high school, couldn't get away like that. Usually have children. Fun times, yes. Usually have children. They can't wait to be free. Needs to be yes, it does need to be balanced, Nikki. I wasn't wild, but I used to love to party. Love to go to happy hours on Friday evenings. And we didn't climax until Saturday night, late Saturday night. Sometimes early Sunday morning. We would dance all night, laugh, talk, sip on our little mixed drinks. Yes, that's what we did. We call ourselves having fun. And I had one particular friend. We were the best of friends, and we still are. And we used to go out, baby. she she would call me up at work. So you want to go to happy hour? She loved to party too. And baby, like Nikki say, like Nikki says on her thing, we gonna party, baby. That's where we were at that time, Nikki. We were partying, baby. But all of that is a thing of the past. That's why it's time to party, baby. Yes, Nick, it was time to party, baby, every Friday and Saturday. We didn't hit the streets during the week because we worked. And both of us at that time worked for state government. So we didn't have time to be partying at that time. hmm Yeah, at that time, I didn't have children. I was not married. She had been married, but she was no longer married. So, baby, it's time to party, baby, as Nikki says. I'm not gonna lie, I enjoyed myself. I loved every moment of it. We weren't harming anybody. We were just having fun, having a few mixed drinks. I would always get highballs, you know, mixed drink. That's what that is, a highball. And baby, we would hit the bars. We had two that we went to on the regular, and sometimes it's one that's called the Underground. We would leave on Saturday nights, leave one bar, and we would climax at the Underground. And it was in the downtown area. Yes, we would be partying. Those were good times, and I enjoyed them. And that is why when these older people and these elders try to act like, and I'ma just say, holier than thou, never did anything wrong, did everything right, that's a lie. Because everybody did something. That's just a lie. So, thank you, thank you, Alvin. Welcome in. Thank you, Joshua. Yes, baby. Now, we didn't get drunk. We might get a little high. We wasn't doing drugs, but we could always drive. And usually she would be the driver. She would drop me off at home, then she would go home. Everybody did something. Yes, Nancy. We all didn't do the same stuff, but we did something. We may not have physically done some things, but if we gossip, those that never did anything wrong, if they gossiped, if they backbite, if they were backbiting, if they were talking about people maliciously, that was wrong. If telling lies, cheating, stealing, all of that, it was wrong. So we all did something. And that's why when these old folks like myself start trying to talk about the young people, I quickly say nobody is in position to talk about anybody else because everybody has done something that they shouldn't have been doing at the time. I don't care, fornicating, committing adultery, all of that. All of that. All of that is included. So drinking, I don't feel that drinking, having a drink is anything that's really sinful. Because the Bible says, they drank wine, they drank in moderation. If you're doing something like that in moderation, I don't see where there is a problem. Now, the problem comes in, though, if you have been an alcoholic and you had no control over the alcohol, you should not, a person like that should not drink and fall back in that slump, if you have not had control. And I know once the pastor said some churches serve actual wine. I have visited a church that served actual wine. I was not a member, but I visited that church one Sunday on communion, and they served actual wine. Our pastor used to say, God rest his soul, may his spirit rest in peace. He used to say, before he came into the knowledge and the saving grace of the Lord, he used to drink. He used to drink heavy. And he said, for that reason, I wouldn't serve wine. We do the grape juice here. We don't do the wine. He said, number one, you may have people out there that recover from alcohol abuse. And one little thing of wine could trigger So that said, he said wine would not be served for communion at that church. Mountain of Inspiration, how are you doing? Let me see. Use actual wine and remember. So, yes, but everybody can't if they recover. That's right. It's nothing wrong with that. I have done wine. I've done communion in my own home. I went to the Bible bookstore and they served I mean not served, they sold the sacrament, with the crackers and the it wasn't wine though or juice. But if you have wine at home, you can do wine, because you're doing it in remembrance of Christ. So you can do wine. I mean, I don't have a personal problem with it. Some people do, but I don't. Oh, here he comes, and he's looking, and I don't have any feed, so I'm not gonna tease him like that. I'll go and get some feed and come back and give him some. Let me see what everybody's saying. See who I've missed. I hate wine because it has more alcohol. Okay, Joshua. Okay, let's see. Back in the days, our church was serving real wine, but they started. Yes, Anita. I know churches that serve real wine. But our pastor used to say he wouldn't do it because he recovered himself from alcohol abuse. And he said he wouldn't serve it at church because it could be something that pushed somebody over the edge who had that problem. You go and get you some wine. Nikki, I tell you what you can do, Nikki. You can get your own wine and some crackers and take your communion right in your house. There are scriptures in the Bible you can go to when you're doing it. That's what we did. My husband and I took communion many days at home. We went to the Bible, we went to the scriptures, we read the scriptures pertaining. We sang the blood songs, and we did it right there at home. Yes, we did. We did that. And especially when you know what happened, yes, you can do it in the house because you remember we are the church. We are the body, not the building. However, it doesn't hurt to fellowship with the other saints of God, parishioners, congregants, whatever you might want to call them, especially as a couple. And we did that a lot. Good morning, LB. Welcome here. How are you doing? I see somebody speaking to Lisa. Hi, Lisa J. Stocks. How are you doing? Welcome in. Yes, I'm glad as it could trigger someone. Yes, our pastor didn't do it because of that. It could trigger somebody that had that issue in life, and that's what he felt. It could trigger somebody. Everybody's not strong in every area as somebody else. I could take it and it wouldn't trigger anything in me because that was never one of my weaknesses. I have other weaknesses, but that was never not one of mine. That's just like laying money to somebody that you know is a rogue. You don't tempt anybody like that. Where were you born, Joshua? I saw you on somebody else's live. Was it this morning or last night? Talking about, I think it was this morning early, talking about where somebody was born. Joshua. Oh, Joshua, I've been in recovery for 20 years. So yeah, it would still be, yes. And that's what my pastor felt. Hi, let me see, Miss 341. Oh, how are you? Sis Anita, how are you doing? Everybody, everybody, thank you, Alvin, for dropping links. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Frank. Yes, you never know how things can affect other people. You really don't. So you try not to do those things that I'm going to tell y'all a little story. I'm full of stories, y'all. Here I go. My daughter, the one that's 36, soon to be 37, the one that I talk about a lot, she had so much fear. And I don't know where it came from. I know what caused it. I know what it is, but I'm not going to even get into that on this live because some people may not feel the way I feel about it. But she was fearful. She was so very fearful. And when I say fearful, I'm talking about fearful of any tragic situation that happened. It could be somebody getting unlived in Maryland, way down south. She would be afraid to sleep at night. We didn't know what was going on. If somebody just passed on, it could be in the city, could be family or not family, could be just somebody she knew. She was afraid to go to her room and sleep. She'd be knocking at me and her daddy's door in the night. And my oldest daughter would say, when she knocked at her door, she would say, "It's nothing in this house. Go on back to your room." She was mean to her. She knows she was afraid. She was scared. So we prayed and prayed and prayed. So we didn't know. She didn't tell us. I didn't know that she was just that afraid of things happening anywhere in the world. Just afraid of the DEAD and all of that. Hi, Jazzy Fame. How are you doing? And I say, I know this fear. She needs deliverance from this. So we had a women's ministry at church, and these women would be praying and deliverance as well. And these women would be praying, praying, praying. And I remember somebody in the family passed on. And the worst thing I could have done, and I didn't know it at the time because she didn't disclose it, was take her to a funeral home and let her see that person. She didn't rest at all. So I went to the pastor's wife because she was heading up that ministry. And I talked to her and I told her what was going on. And she said that is fear in a big way. That is fear. And this lady was of African descent. So she was familiar with the spirits and all that different stuff. But this was something that had attached to her. It could have been generational. Okay, welcome back, Nikki. Could have been generational. Probably was. But they prayed for her and prayed for her and prayed for her, prayed for her, spoke the word over her. She got delivered from that. And now she's not affected by it. She was much younger. She was a teenager. No. Was she a teenager? No. When she was a teen, she was a young teen. She might have been 11 or 12, something like that. She wasn't like 15, 16 or anything like that. So they prayed and prayed and prayed for her. She was in a church for about an hour that day. It was not a Sunday. It was maybe like a Tuesday or Wednesday, someday during the week. And I didn't go in with her. And I had been going to this church long enough. I knew the people that were there praying. It was only about 3 of them there, and I knew them. I knew them pretty well. But I tell you what, she got delivered. And from that day forward, she does not have that problem now. But she doesn't go to funeral homes just to be going, because she used to go with my mama to the funeral homes, and my mom would be looking at this, looking at this, and she was a little girl. And I don't know what happened. Like I said, it could have been generational. I don't know. But she does not just go to funeral homes just to go. It has to be somebody that she looks at that's very special, somebody that she's close to or knows very well. She just does not go in and out of funeral homes. So the things that we get delivered from, we have to be careful because we don't want to go back to that situation. Because I believe the enemy can use that and put that thing right back on you. And I understand that. Yes, it's a testimony. It is, Nancy, because when I tell you this is no plaything, as you well know, and a lot of others of you know, it's no plaything. This stuff is real. It is real. And I've seen people get delivered from so many things. I have been in meetings and I have seen people get prayed for. I promise you, I was in New Jersey at a women's conference some years ago. The same church, the women's ministry went to this conference, and I promise y'all, this is real. As I stand here overlooking this pond, this water, God is my witness. They prayed for this one woman. She came in there. That lady was hollering and going on. It was a pitiful shame. I don't know where she came from. We were in New Jersey. And when they got binding up and rebuking and praying and all of this, that woman was on the floor and she was hissing and moving like a serpent. And I promise you she was. I promise you. Good morning, Ruthie. How are you doing? Welcome in. Ruth, I got you running this morning. That old iPad I got may have cut off because it might need charging. But I got you running. I'll recharge and run you some more. And I still got to run Alvin as well. But so much has been going on. I've been away from the house a lot, doing different things for family and, different situations that has risen and, doing that. But when that woman, you're welcome, Ruth, after she, and some of your videos I've watched before, but I just have to clear history. But you'll see that I might have watched them 2 months ago, and I'm going back watching, and they're being watched again. But I try to keep that history clear. But anyway, that lady was hissing. I mean, making hissing sounds on that floor. And I had never seen anything like that before. I had seen deliverance done before, but I had never seen that before. And I know one of the ladies that went with us, she said, I couldn't touch that. Well, it's not for everybody. Everybody's not going to be in deliverance. It's not for everybody. I don't think God has called everybody to operate in deliverance. But thank God for the true ones that he has called to do that. Judge Jerry, I haven't watched Judge Judy. I've watched her. Tamika says, I have seen people do it family free. Yes, it's real, Frank. It's real. I don't try to force that belief on anybody, but I believe it's real. I have seen it in more than one meeting. Something like that has happened. And when they finished praying that woman, she was so limp. She couldn't stand up and she regurgitated. They had to go and get a waste basket and bags and stuff. She regurgitated. Yes, definitely have to be careful with spirit. Yes. And some people tamper into the wrong things. Hey, Sippy, how are you doing? Welcome in. don't know if you were in here when I first gave the testimony concerning deliverance with my daughter, Gwen, but if not, you can go back a little piece and hear it. Yes, yes, they will. They will if you don't know what you're doing. I mean, there's a scripture in the Bible that talks about who are you. You know, if you don't know what you're doing, you don't play with that kind of stuff, deliverance and spirits and stuff. And act like they love you when you. Yes, that's true. That is true. As Curvy, how are you doing? Thank you for being here. Zoom meeting for work. Okay. It was just a testimony that I gave of my daughter when she was walking in fear and how she got delivered from it. Yeah. So, and I was just saying that the things that may have been a problem for us and God has delivered us from those things. It could be alcoholism, it could be drug abuse, anything, pornography. I've heard powerful testimonies of people getting pornography, whatever it is. God has delivered you from that thing. Don't go back in that direction because it will come back greater upon you, 7 times greater than before. So, yes, we have to be very careful, very mindful of that. Well, that's been my little story, my little spiel for today. Y'all know I got many more stories to tell. And I don't know why I just feel like releasing. I'm led to release certain things as I walk. You know, when you walk, let me say it like this. My head is clear. I'm out here with the wind is blowing, the water is rolling, the waves are rolling out there as you can see. Yes, that's right, Gwen. And you don't go back to that. And if you know you got a problem and you got delivered and you hang around those same old friends, like a lady was telling me about her son or grandson, you know, he had been in the drug scene, hooked on drugs and stuff. And when he came back into the real world after being locked down, she told him, don't go looking for those same friends, those same neighborhoods, because you will end up where you were. Because you're not strong enough. And our pastor used to say, the one that I was telling you about earlier, he used to say, don't link arms with the world. He said, because if you do, you got two spirits fighting against each other. And 9 times out of 10, that other spirit is going to pull you. You won't be able to withstand. You know, so don't link arms with the world. And by that he meant just what we're talking about, things that you did. You know, you don't want to go back to those things because those things did not bless your life. Yes, they don't bless your life. And people always want to say, remember when he used to do this? Remember when? And I heard a pastor say, when the devil reminds you of your past, you remind him of your future. I heard a known pastor say that time and time again. When the devil starts to remind you of your past, you remind him of his future. That's powerful. That's powerful. Because it's nothing but the devil want to bring up old stuff and talk about what somebody used to do. My mama always had this little rhyme. Used to had a rooster, but it died. So, yes, used to had a rooster, but it died. So, we don't need to be talking about, yeah, you be tickled at some funerals, Quinn. Yeah, funerals be, let's see, they fake love you in real life. And when they act like that's so true. That is so true. And then What I have noticed in funerals, they they you've been such a good person all of your life. When they get up and speak about you at the funerals, and I'm gonna tell you this. Once my husband and I went to a funeral of one of his relatives. And oh boy, they were up there. Oh, they were just pinning flowers and this and that. So good, so this, so that. But we got in the car. My husband said, I don't know that person they're talking about. And I know that person very well. Relative of mine who lived in our house. And I don't know that person that they're talking about. I just laughed. I thought that was so funny. I thought it was so funny. Yes. Well, Gwen, if you don't know me, you would learn. I speak the truth. I'm not a liar. I don't go around just making up stuff to make myself look good or making up these stories. When I tell you a story, these things really happen. They really happen. That's okay, Lila. You can go back and catch the replay if you want to. I appreciate everybody who watched something in replay because I know people have things to do. Can't just be sitting up. And I'm at a point, since what happened, and everybody had to wear masks and all that stuff, I stopped going to funerals. I have not been in a funeral in a building, be it church or a mortuary. I do not go and be enclosed in those funerals like that because I know stuff is still out here in the air and I just don't do it. That's just me. I will support the family and they already know. I've told them all I can't come to their funeral. One of my friends, the one that we used to go out together all the time. Her mother passed, and her mother and I were very, very, very close. Very close. She was like an auntie or something. Very close. Gave me a lot of motherly advice. Though she was not my mother's still alive, but she gave me a lot of motherly instinct. And like I told you all before, I sat around the elders. I learned a lot from them. I enjoyed their. We used to talk on the phone every day. I used to talk to her every morning before I went to work. She would call me or I would call her. It would be early in the morning before I got ready to go to work. But anyway, she passed on and her daughter knew the closeness that we had. She wanted me to speak at the service, which the service was at the funeral home. But I told her, I thanked her, but I told her I wouldn't be able to do it because, I didn't go to funerals in the funeral homes and the churches. I would go if it was outside of the cemetery, graveside, but not in an enclosed place. Now, when my husband passed, I had a viewing at the funeral home, and from there, we had a nice, sweet service in the State National Cemetery because he was military. So he had a military style service and all of that at the funeral home. Nice, short, sweet. The pastor gave a word to all of us in there, spoke very well, and that was it. And we came on back because it wasn't in the city where I live. So, yes, we had to drive for about an hour and a half to get there. So, I said, no repass. Didn't want a repass either. But what I did for the family, got my daughter to make reservations for the family. All the children, grandchildren, immediate family, like their cousins and all. She made reservations at Chappitt's Deli and ordered the food for me. And that's where they can. But for the general public, I didn't have a repast. It wasn't a repast. It was just that I wanted to feed them because a lot of them came from Atlanta, Georgia, Decatur, Georgia, and surrounding areas of Atlanta. And our niece came from Ohio, she and her husband. So people travel from near and far, and that is why I wanted to. Hi, how are you? I'm well, thank you. And that, excuse me, y'all, and that is why I wanted to feed them before they got back on the road, but not a repass as such. But, and my mom has already requested graveside. It's fine for me. Mama said they don't have to turn on the lights, the air, or the heat. Whenever it is I pass on, for me, I can go from the funeral home to the cemetery because if you hadn't gotten it together beforehand, that ain't gonna save you. And I'm sorry. hmm And my aunt who passed on, my mom's sister, she had already requested. She died, well, she passed on about 18 years ago, and she had already requested um, graveside. My uncle, her husband, I was in charge of that because like I've told you all, they didn't have children. And so um, he had a military style funeral. He was Catholic. He was in the Catholic church, and then he had military style in the cemeteries. That was that. And I've told my family that I want graveside as well. Metro Sonic, how are you doing? My mother and grandmother raised me to speak the truth. Yes, Frank, that's all I know to do is tell it like it is, tell the truth, not trying to be unkind to anybody or, be mean to anybody, but speak the truth. I have to speak the truth. Yeah, well, you know, a lot of people do spend a lot of money, astronomical. I'm talking about $14,000 and $15,000 down here in the South. Money that I just witnessed that not long ago. A lot of money that the person could have had, could have done a nice put away, but 14 or 15,000, and I've seen that often with people, just go over and beyond and all of that. But I would have been saving a decent burial, but nothing extravagant because I think about if you got money coming from your insurances, that's money you can have in your pocket to help you survive and whatever and take care of needs that you may have in addition to maybe what your income may be. So I don't believe in the extravagance. Some people favor cremation, and that's a matter of choice. It's whatever the person wants. I hear a lot of people say they want to be cremated. So it's a matter of choice. It's a matter of choice. And a lot of times people do have insurance, they have enough, but they still want to be cremated. I had a sister that passed on. I told you all about her. My mama's youngest child, my baby sister, passed on. She was not even 50. And she had already made arrangements for cremation and for her body to be, she had everything together for her body to go to science. And it did. And they sent the ashes, and everything. So her children sprinkled them over some waters or another. And so that was that. That's what she wanted. She made that decision. She made that choice. And she passed on in a hospital in Birmingham. and everything was taken care of in Birmingham. The cremation, well, first they, got the body and got whatever they got and did whatever they do, and that was it. Yep, that's, you have to, I believe in honoring no matter what I believe in. I don't force that on anybody once they're gone to do what I want done. And I've seen people, I know one lady was a good friend of my mom. She had good insurance, but she did not want to be buried. She had one grown son, and she wanted to be cremated and wanted the the rest of that money to go to her child. He was a grown man, but she wanted that for him. And sometimes that may be the way somebody leaves something back for their children and grandchildren. And so she didn't even want a service at the church. Well, her niece was helping the son, and she took her to the church anyway. I just don't believe in overriding people wishes when they're gone. If they made a request, the Bible says make your request known. If you make your request known unto man, I believe in being trustworthy enough to carry out a person's wishes, not do what I want to do. Yes, a lot of time people, most of my relatives that died are cremated. My uncle, Michael, Uncle Bernard, my father, and my grandmother in different time zone, early 90s. Yes. Well, if that's what they request, and some people requested that they don't want that. Because I know one lady said she was old, she was in her 90s. She told her daughter, I don't want to be burned up. I want to be buried. That was her request, and they buried her. That was her request. We are free will agents. We have choices, and nobody should override our choices. If we are adults and it's something we want to do, it's not hurting anybody, we should honor their requests. We should honor their requests. So, whatever you want, make your request known. And I pray that everybody that makes a request to family, they will carry it out. And I asked my mama this. I said, I know you want graveside, but I could go before you. I know you want graveside. And if I'm still alive, if it's too cold or if it's too hot, can we at least stay at the funeral home for a few minutes and then go to the cemetery? And she said, yes, that'll work. That's right, Anita. You do what people want done. But I asked my mama, because sometimes you never know about the weather. If it's raining and stuff like that, you can't. If it's pouring raining, you can't stand in a cemetery. So I asked my mama, and she said, well, that will work. If something like that happens, but if the weather is fine and good, just do everything at the cemetery. And when my dad was in Louisiana, and when he died, I was in charge of him. And I know some of the family didn't like it, but he was at the funeral home for wakes. We call them wakes down there. It was a wake. It was no speaking or anything like that, just really people sitting around viewing the body, just sitting and whatever. I was at the funeral home, and the next morning early, he was taken to the cemetery, and it was just um, a brief burial for him. And I know some family that talked about me didn't like it. I know they didn't. And one cousin said, you can take him to the church. It's okay. The pastor wouldn't mind. Right. They call it a wake, I guess. I guess they mean like watch you sitting there watching. You're sitting there watching because the person ain't about to wake up. The deceiting ain't about to. And that's what I've always thought it to mean. You are the one looking, not them. That's just what they call it. Some call it visitation and some call it, they call it wakes. Yeah. No, they're not. Exactly right. When they're in the church, they're not there. Their spirit has gone on. The body is just nothing but a housing place. The spirit has already left the body, yes. Mm. I don't know why anybody would want to shut you up. Yes, condolences, Metro, Sonic. I mean, we have to talk about things. We have to, and because people have differences of opinions, it's no right or wrong in a lot of things. It's no right or wrong. I'm not saying everything, but in a lot of things, no right and wrong. You make your choices. If you are an adult, you are alert. But getting back to my family, I know some didn't like it because I have been told things that were said, but you were not in charge. You were not in charge, so I did what I want to do. It was in January too. Well, he passed in January. Yeah, his service in January. No, not gonna wake up. Yeah, no, especially lost elder cousin back and forth. Oh, I'm sorry, Metro Sonic. Condolences to you and your losses. Yes, we all have experienced some type of loss. If we haven't, we will. Condolences to everyone and prayers to everyone. Yes, it is, Gwen. Yes. You were an inquisitive little girl. You wanted, inquiring minds want to know. Yes, that's the way my daughter was. She was always asking questions, always listening. Um, if you told her to go in the other room at my mom's house, little did you know, she was at that door listening, always nosy, always you know, had an inquiry mind, always wanted to know. And my oldest daughter said she always thought she was so grown before she used to be so bad. Because my oldest daughter is just laid back. She doesn't, really focus on stuff. She doesn't really zero in and all of this. But her sister sure does. Yeah, don't have to suffer. You're right. You're right. Got a whipping for asking a question, Gwen. Well, you know how parents be. They don't want you to ask anything or say anything or talk too much and stuff like that. You know how it is in the black community, and I'm just gonna say in the black community. That's the community I know. That's why I say in the black community because that's the community that I grew up in. Hmm. Hmm. I guess they didn't want you talking to adults like that, Gwen. They didn't want you talking to adults like that and telling adults what to do. That's why you got a whipping, baby girl. Because if my daughter had said something like that to an adult, she probably would have gotten a whipping too. Mm-hmm. Grand Rising, Rob. How are you doing, Rob? Welcome in here. Come on in the room. We have been out here for a while just chit-chatting about so many different things. So I've just been out here getting this fresh air and Just looking up and down, y'all can see how gloomy it is. It's starting to drizzle a little. So I'm about to get in the house. Thank you all for being here. We're going to have to have a conversation like this again and pick this up a part two. And maybe I will sit down and talk about, we can talk about these conversations that we've been having out here as we walk along. We can talk about these things because communication is a great thing and we don't communicate enough. We don't talk enough. We can't keep saying be quiet and keep everything a secret and don't ask questions and stuff like that. We don't live in that day now where you just shut the child up and don't want them to speak and ask questions about things. Yes, thank you, Sippy, thank you. Okay, Rob is saying it's starting to rain there too, Anita. Thanks for greeting everybody as they come in. Mods, I appreciate you so much. Okay, now I know Rob is saying something about peace, love, reparation. Rob is on their reparations. That's what he feels. That's his passion. And he talks about it. I welcome that. That's his belief. You can't take anybody's belief away from them. And we need to have some around the table discussions about these things and not to argue, not to be confused, or not to. I was in a live the other day and it was a good conversation, but everybody was trying to talk at one time. We got to have order. Everything must be done decent and in order. We have to have some order. Yes. Well, if he spoke through a jackass, he can speak through anyone. He spoke through a donkey. Gwen, and I know you know it. Anita, Frank, many of you in here, I know you know it. Rob, opinions matter and choices have to be made and decisions. Opinions matter and choices have to be made and decisions of everyone. We're not going to agree with everybody's opinion, but everybody has one. Everybody has an opinion. And a lot of times it's no right or wrong. People have questions because you don't believe what somebody else believes. You're not the judge of them. Yes, I'm going to have to. Um, I have the Melon app, but I've never used it. It's like StreamYard. I've never used StreamYard. I always go live through YouTube. But yes, I'm going to have to set up a time where we can have these conversations. Not to be mean, not to be unkind, not to have confusion, not to argue, not to fuss. Everybody has a belief. I had a lady on here one day, right time to shine, Anita. Yes. I had a lady, and she said she didn't believe in God. Didn't no person on here. She said she's an atheist. Not one person on here attacked her. It was my life, and I wouldn't have stood for it anyway. That's her belief. Maybe if we're kind and we keep speaking and teaching and whatever, you don't know how the Holy Spirit will get to people, and maybe they might think about some things or have a change. Not just that, anything. It could be anything. So we don't attack people. We don't be unkind to people. People are looking for answers to questions. They want knowledge and understanding about some things. And we cannot be be unkind. Thank you for the stars, Gwen. Everybody matters. On this live, thank you, Anita. Thank you so much for the compliment. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone. I appreciate all you do for my channel, your support. No judgment. That's right. That's right, Nikki. We have to treat everybody right. You don't win anybody or anything by being unkind. You can attract anything with honey. You can't attract nothing with salt. You attract flies with honey, not with salt. So we have to be mindful. We have to be careful. We have to be loving. We have to be kind. We have to walk the walk, not just talk the talk. Don't snob at somebody. Don't turn your nose at somebody because they don't feel what you feel. They don't believe what you believe, or they believe differently than you do. Whatever. This lady told me yesterday when I was walking, and I didn't ask her. She just started talking. We have been meeting each other every day when we walk, when we do our walk. And she told me yesterday she was, because I thought she was from China, she said she was Vietnamese. And so she just, we would speak every morning, but then she started to stop and talk to me, have a conversation. And I didn't ask her about her beliefs. She told me, she just came out and told me she was Buddhist. I did not look at that lady any type of way. That's her belief. That's her business. That's her belief. She told me what she was boldly, and I boldly told her who I am and what I believe. I didn't start that conversation with her. And we still had a conversation, and then she went her way, I went mine. We met up on another street, and we addressed each other again. I am not trying to tell that woman nothing. You know, I'm not trying to get into pounding anything and anybody at all. Hi, Miss 702. Not for the streets. How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you all for being here. So, we have to be kind because everybody is not going to be a follower of Jesus Christ, and I know that. Everybody's not going to be a Christian or whatever. He's flying. He's flying up there, as you can see. It's going on. So, thank you so much, Miss 702, and I will visit your home and leave a gift in a few days, if I haven't already, because I have seen you in these streets, or in a few hours, I will visit. Sure will. And I got to get in here and get to linking channels because I'm way behind with that. But my phone is giving me a signal that it needs to be charged. It may go out on us. So I am going to see if anybody has asked me anything so I can end it to find it because I did. Okay, let's see here. She's talking to Gwen. Miss Anita is. Let's see. My finger's all in the way. Excuse me, y'all. Oh, you're a supporter, really? Okay, glad to catch you. Okay, well, thank you so much. Though you're a supporter, I am going to still press that button. One day you might want to become a creator and you will already have some followers. So that's what I do for my supporters anyway. Yes, all lives matter. Everybody matters. Everybody. And everybody matters in this chat and at my house. Everybody matters. I don't care who you are, what you believe in. I am not going to pick and choose. Oh, I'm not going to be a part of that because of that. Now, I will tell you this. When it comes to something strange like kind of stuff, no, I won't deal with that. That's just me. I don't deal in that at all. You have a blessed day too. Open the floodgates of heaven. Have a blessed day, Sister Anita. Thank you so much. Y'all, there goes the rain. Yes, it's drizzling, so I'm going to get out of it too. I feel a few drops dropping. So, with that, may the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you, and may the Lord makes his face to shine upon each and every one of you. Thank you, Frank. You have a wonderful and blessed day. Everybody, blessings to you all, and I will talk to you soon.